This is a matter of life and death.
Okay.
I really want women to hear this is a matter of life and death. When we are overperforming as women in the hyper masculine, as I like to call it, so we're hustling all the time, we're pushing, we're forcing, we're ignoring the cues, we're in burnout. That's where women's life is on the line. Women get breast cancer. Women get hysterectomies because the body doesn't lie. And those emotions of overworking yourself beyond what your capacity is, there's a price to pay.
Yes.
And it's not the dollar.
Okay, let's just take a nice, I know we took a breath.
Yeah,
Let's
we
take
do it
another
again.
breath in through the nose.
Let's do 2 more.
Sure. Just arriving into the space. And we are here.
I am here.
Well,
Hi.
welcome.
I'm so happy to be here.
I feel like I need a really soft voice right now. Like, welcome to Beyond.
Right? After that meditation? Yeah.
Yeah. So even just that quick moment, what it does for you is just so powerful.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's one of many things that you've taught me to do and to experience. And really just experiencing myself through the breath. It's so special.
Yeah. Brings you right into the moment.
Brings you right into the moment.
Yeah.
That deep connection with self is so important.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to start really how to describe our relationship, but I've known you for many years now. First, just through social media, watching you, listening to you, learning from you. And I always believe there's always a moment in time where you end up crossing paths, right?
Like destined.
So I think for me, it was around 2022.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have this Nourished Women's program. And I was really inclined, probably a little bit hesitant at the same time, to join that, right? And when I looked at you online, you know, as this authentic lineage Tantra teacher, not just that, embodiment teacher, and also somatic coach. You have all these gifts that you're giving to the world, and it's really beautiful. And so that's how we first met, was through the Nourished Women's program. And therefore after, you know, I've attended a lot of your single events, circles, goddess circles. And then I was lucky enough, blessed enough to go to your retreat in Bali.
That happened
in May of 2025.
Just a few months
ago. Wow. I wish I could just take the whole audience to Bali with us.
Yeah.
So we'll have to put some B-roll on this interview. I want to ask you, what's your why behind doing all? I know it's a big question to start with, but I feel like it's the only way to set the tone of like, why, what is it important for you to create these moments for women to step into who they are?
Yeah, such a good one. Good place to start. Well, I know you can relate with us being raised in 2 cultures, right? Western Canadian culture, still very patriarchal, combined with Indian culture, right? Also very patriarchal. I grew up with mixed messages, right? Being told to like go out and you can do anything and you can be anything. But at the same time, essentially feeling like I need to people please all the time, also be a good girl, right? Fit into these roles of what it means to be a good Punjabi girl, good daughter, good student. And it's a performance, a lot of it, you know? And inside those deeper dimensions of who we really are, they're not being expressed. It's like we're frozen in our identity of what it means to be a woman. So I think that's definitely part of my why, is helping women embody more their multidimensionality as like spirit or God or whatever you want to call it intended, And that's really, really a deep, deep passion of mine. Yeah. I mean, there's a bigger story of how I got into this work, but I feel like when you ask me my why, it's to really help women feel more liberated in their body.
Wow.
Yeah.
You mentioned a lot of different things here because, as women, we're already facing one agenda of, I am a woman, this is what I face, this is my gender role, what it's supposed to be. And then you put on another dimension of being an ethnic woman or a colored woman.
Yeah.
That's adding a deep, deep level, adding on to that we're already facing all of these challenges, right? Or these missed messages. And I can relate to you, right? I'm essentially a third culture kid. You're in between two worlds. I'm born and raised here. Indian Punjabi background. It's confusing.
Yes, it is.
Right? And as much as your parents might be or say a certain way, again, very encouraging.
Yeah.
I feel very blessed. My parents did encourage me and still do. They're very supportive. But there's still an element of you're Indian and you need to be like this.
100%. Yeah.
Right? And, I'm really proud to say that I'm a black sheep or a white sheep, whatever you want to call it. A rainbow sheep, right? And I mentioned that on another podcast with Michelle.
Yeah.
And we were talking about similar things, like being a colored woman, an ethnic woman, and choosing your own path.
That's right.
And how beautiful it is, but it's also very challenging. You face criticism, 100%. You face feedback, judgment from people all the time, right? And so there's a way of how do we work through that? And I feel like for me, part of that turning point for me was being run down, being overworked,
right? The burnout,
probably being depressed at some way, very anxious, bad boundaries, very bad boundaries,
very typical.
And so for me, that was my turning point of like trying to understand, how do I fall back into who I am and my femininity, my power, what is that power? When women come to you and, with these questions, maybe in a way it's a crisis. It's a crisis, right?
Usually it is.
Because it's to do with your identity, right? What are they usually feeling typically? Like I just explained to you how I felt, right?
Mm-hmm.
But are other women feeling the same way? Is that why they come to you
100%.
For support?
The majority of the women I work with are women in high impact professions, real estate, tech, human resources. And they've gotten to the point where they might have even gotten into therapy. By the way, therapy is great. Right? But therapy and talking about your problems can only get you so far. And this is where, we have to make that transition from psychoanalyzing into embodiment. That's kind of like the intersection of where my work comes in. And so when the women come to me, they may know why they're doing what they're doing, because a lot of them are like overthinkers and they're really, intellectual women, but they can't stop the habits. They're not able to stop the patterns of self-gaslighting or the people-pleasing and just feeling like they need to overperform, overachieve, right? And so that's when they meet me. I'm like, let's go into embodiment. Yeah.
So what does embodiment actually mean? Because I'm sure if you threw that word out to someone, they wouldn't really understand that. I understand it a bit.
Because you went into the program.
Because I went into the program. But if I were to start from scratch, I'm a woman executive, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a mother, I'm in between all these worlds. What is embodiment and what type of embodiment would help me? Yeah.
Embodiment, from my perspective, means to become aware of sensations in your body. To become aware of the ways that you sabotage yourself too. Like, so patterns in the body, like, when I sabotage myself, I'm in my head, or I start to get butterflies in my stomach, or, when I'm anxious, or when I feel like there's 1,000 pounds of weight on my head for pressures in my family and in my home, I can feel it in my shoulders. Or I get this recurring headache. It's starting to link your emotions with your body. It's starting to understand how your symptoms are not just something that is random. It's because of all the stuffed emotions that perhaps for generations you haven't dealt with, right? Because it can go back into your matriarchal line, of all the ways that our voices have been suppressed and all those things. So embodiment for me is really a way of how do we become aware of how we're taking up space in our body and to really start to pay attention to those cues. The body's speaking all the time, right? The body doesn't lie.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been just taught through our culture to suppress that, to just put that to the side. And there's something so powerful that I love witnessing in the work I do with women is when they start to fully occupy their body, fully start to take up space. Take up space is who they really are. And then everything starts to change. A lot of those symptoms, a lot of those illnesses, a lot of the diseases, they start to dissipate.
Mm-hmm.
Because now they're actually inhabiting their body. Because if you're not inhabiting your body, who is?
Exactly.
And that's not a good place to be, right? All the old programs, all the old trauma patterns, coping mechanisms, things that your grandparents believed maybe. If you're not inhabiting your body, who is? Right? And that's a question that women need to contend with. Yeah.
Does that mean that you're not accepting yourself or you're not being in tune with yourself?
100%. I think when you haven't done the embodiment work and you're not occupying space in your body and you don't understand your body, maybe you don't even trust your body because maybe you have something against femininity. Hello, internalized misogyny. It's a big issue in the world we live in. You're not in tune with yourself. You're not in tune with your intuition when you're in that place. It's a very disempowered, disembodied place to be.
I think there's something so magical when you can listen to yourself.
Yes.
Right? I think you mentioned something a few minutes ago about saying no.
Yeah.
And knowing what's right and what's good for you, what's not good for you, right? And the power for that. I recently saw this marketing campaign and it was for a women's beauty brand and independent, small, but it was based on, I'm sorry that I cannot do this. I'm unavailable.
Right.
Right. And there's a power in having that boundary. But I feel like we're always taught to constantly give, right? Yeah. And you kind of get stuck in this cycle of giving. And then at the end, it's like your battery is so low, right? Or your cup is so little, right? So what's the first step in understanding, what is feminine energy? Because I feel like, we think it's, wearing certain clothes or it's being really soft, right? Or being only the caregiver. In my opinion, I feel like feminine energy can be so many different things.
It really can. So what's the question?
What is feminine energy?
What is feminine? Well, in our tradition, we call it Shakti.
Shakti, yes.
And Shakti is the creative life force energy, which ties back to what I said in the beginning. It's very multidimensional, right? And also ties into what you just said about the boundaries. And so feminine energy is not a performance. It's not just, looking a certain way or putting on an aesthetic of the goddess. It's about embodying the ocean, embodying the fire, embodying the earth, embodying hava, air. It's everything that is in nature exists in us too. And all indigenous cultures know that. So it's really a process of decolonizing yourself and understanding how those elements live inside of yourself. So let's go to the fire element for a moment, because I work a lot with the fire element with women and that capacity to say no, right? To be okay, you're asking me to do something, but when I honestly look at my capacity right now and my plate, that's not possible for me to do that. And to honor that and to give that a voice. It takes practice. It's not easy.
No.
I have to say with a lot of the Indian women I work with, too, business women, that is that's where we have to spend the most amount of time, because they're so afraid to let people down. They're so afraid, as we say in Punjabi, log ki kahoge, right? It's like so concerned with what will people think. And so once they start to kind of delayer that and not center other people's feelings in front of what they are feeling in their body, it becomes easier and easier to say no, to be like, this is what's on my plate and I don't have the capacity. And I'm not sorry. Like the campaign, I'm not sorry.
I mean, I see it all the time, with women in my family, specifically, right?
Yeah.
Taking on everything, taking on the world, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like with my generation, or me specifically, I'm really trying to change that dialogue. Just like you are in your way, I'm trying to do it in my way, showcasing my truth. That's my biggest power, is like being vulnerable, sharing my story, sharing other women's stories as well, to give people, not that they need it, you don't need it, but if you think you need permission, it's a way to have that sort of support of saying, she's done this, I can do it too, right? Or she's living that life, I can look at it too, right? And I think it's okay to look at others and be inspired by them, right? Sometimes we need a little bit of courage. To bring us there. And I think when I met you and I wanted to work with you, I was describing all these symptoms, right? And I definitely was not in my body. If I look at, was it 2022? So almost over 3 years later, I'm so different in an evolved way, right? I'm more rooted in my energy. There's more flow in my life. I've learned to say no to things that don't serve me. Right? I've given boundaries to people in my life, right? Everyone, in fact, right?
I love that.
Even a person walking on the street, I think I have a boundary with them also. People know how to approach me, how to respect me, right?
Beautiful.
But this takes work.
It does.
I mean, the work that we did was, everything from like journaling, prompts, understanding the energy, how to cultivate it. We did a lot of letting go. I think there was one thing that we did together where I had to write a few things down and burn them. Right? So are there things that we can do to let go of all that programming that we have?
Again, I love to come back to the body. If this is really new for you, I would say shake.
Shake, yes.
Put on a really angry song and shake. And that act of like twerking, and there's so much energy in our womb space. Even if you don't have a physical womb anymore, there's so much creative prana, life force energy between our hips and in our ass, and in our thighs. Like when you look at power in a woman's body, it's not up here like Superman. That's a kind of like hyper masculine model. That's why you see that Superman figure. He's all up here.
He's all up there.
But when you look at the old figurines and the statues in India of Devis, where's the center of energy? It's down below.
Down below, yes.
Right? And the feet too. And so part of the work I do with women is helping them like center their power and become aware of their power in the lower half of their body. Typically when we disassociate, that's the energy that we leave. We go all up into our head. So it's really important to keep bringing the awareness of sensations back down into the lower half of the body.
I love that.
So to answer your question, what's a good way to let go, to release? Just shake.
Shake it off.
Shake, like literally don't stop shaking. Put a song on for 4 or 5 minutes. Sometimes women in the beginning, they'll come to me like, what's a feminine embodiment practice? How do I begin? I'm like, what's your favorite song?
Yes. Yeah.
From your childhood even.
Yeah.
Like whatever that really just lets your heart soar, makes you feel so free. And that's the ticket. You don't have to make it up.
No, you don't have to make it up. It's there with you. The tool's there with you. I remember doing that a lot when we were in Bali. We would often just have, I think one night we had a dance party. We were all dancing. And even for me, before I start my podcast in the morning, you asked me what I did. I have a big list of things I do. I do my dry brushing. I massage my feet.
Oh, I'm so happy to hear that.
Yeah, I massage my body. Nice. I put on certain music and I shake, and then I tap everywhere, behind my hips, my bum, my legs. And then I also try to get some energy from the ground. So I move my feet, I stomp my feet, I go low, I go high. I'm giving a lot of details to everybody.
Now you know she's giving you the whole routine. You better be
giving you the
taking notes, honey.
Yeah, this is really the get ready with me. You know how on
Yes!
social media people
There
write
we
get ready?
go. I
It's
need
like,
to do
this
one of
is the
those.
real get ready with me.
I need to do one of those soon.
Right? It's not just the makeup and the
Yeah.
hair. That's afterwards.
That's after.
That's the second part, right? Meditation, walking, affirmation. Like it was,
Can
I'm
I
like,
just say, it's so funny what you just said. The makeup and the hair that comes after. I was just thinking about my early life as a teenager and a young adult, how it was opposite. Because again, it was like so put into me, like you have to care what other people think.
yes.
And that actually comes first. And so I would
So
be
true.
spending so much time on my hair and makeup, no self-care, no attuning to self at all. Everything was outward focused. Everything was about how is the world going to perceive me, not who the hell am I being.
Exactly.
It's so fascinating how everything's turned around now.
I mean, you can only hope that it's turned around, right? I feel like I'm
getting
letting
there.
go of deep breaths because there's almost this frustration here a little bit. I need to kind of like breathe it out.
Right.
There's something that we spoke about a few days ago, and it was about performative femininity
Yes.
versus authentic embodiment. Can you kind of give us like a, comparison of what the two are, just so we can really understand?
With social media, it's so fun. We can have so much fun with social media, but also what starts to happen is very much kind of like switching camps, but it's the same thing again. So it's like that superficiality that you see in the world can come into the spiritual world. So a woman who's like, oh, I want to be a goddess, she'll get really wrapped up in the pictures of how the tarot goddesses look on the tarot deck. And she'll be like, I want to look like that Devi, I need to have long hair to be a goddess. I had to debunk that one for myself just 2 weeks ago, because I think a part of me was holding on to my hair because I thought, well, that makes me more feminine. And I had to really call myself out because I'm like, oh, I'm a Tantra teacher. I'm teaching feminine energy. I should keep my long hair. And it was like, dude, I'm still dealing with some autoimmune issues. My hair's thinning at the scalp. I'm going through probably perimenopause. It's not working for me to have this long hair. It's super frizzy. It's hard to handle. And it was just like, I kept seeing this image of this woman with this like futuristic, like silver, like freaking like buzz cut. And I was like, that's the next evolution of me.
It is.
And you guys all felt that. You guys recently were all at a Diwali event, and you guys just, thank you so much for your love and support, because it's so vulnerable. But coming back to what you were saying, whether your hair's short, whether your hair's long, it's not the point. The point is actually, how do you feel in your body? Are you unclenched? Right? Because that energy of clenching, like awkward energy, it's like so in our lineage that like having to be hard on ourselves. And that becomes like, unfortunately, a weird part of our femininity, to push through things. And it's not. If you ask me what is feminine energy and what does it look like, it doesn't matter what it looks like. It's what it feels like. Are you unclenched?
What it feels like, yeah.
Are you rooted?
Are you rooted?
Are you rested? Are you radiant? Growing up, I never knew a relaxed woman. None of us did. And a lot of our immigrant families, they're struggling hard, and God bless their souls. But also that comes with a whole bag of stuff that we had to carry.
Of course.
And actually don't need to carry anymore.
I have these conversations all the time with my mom, my aunts, and, are you rested? Take a break. Is this really necessary in this moment?
Well, it's a part of their identity.
Is someone going to walk in and judge you for your kitchen?
They feel
they're
yes.
not going to.
But they feel yes.
They feel yes, right? And it's a part of, I guess, their programming and how they seek validation, right? And I think it's interesting because, on another podcast episode, we talk about transition and chapters sort of in the corporate world, executive, right?
Yeah.
And I think whether it's transitioning from like a new job or, career or a relationship, a transition doesn't even need to be that big, quote unquote. It's really just here, right? Any moment, any day, you can decide here if you want to like evolve or make a change, right? It doesn't have to be so big.
Yeah.
right? Like, you don't need to make this huge plan, like, oh, I'm going to have like a 180-day plan to change myself and to start posting on Instagram, or making X amount of money, or to find a partner, right? It's just something here where I think you almost have to make some sort of decision.
Yeah.
And like you said, with your hair and, even yourself, you're thinking, right? That doesn't fit who I'm supposed to be, right? And I think the more we give ourselves permission, it's okay to have ebbs and flows in life, or to change whenever you want to, right?
That's the cycles.
It's the cycles. And they don't have to be as big as we're making it, right? Like, oh, I'm going to go to a new job tomorrow. Like, I just feel like those are like big, they're not big moments. They're like big moments, but there's something here too. Like, I feel like you could just be sitting down one day and just make a decision to say, hey, I want to evolve. I am evolving.
Yeah, I choose to.
I choose to evolve. I choose to be feminine. I choose to let go of the, I just choose to let go. That's it.
That's it.
Right?
Yeah.
I was going back through some of my notes with you, and I wrote down sort of like affirmations of where I wanted to be, and I wanted to share them because I just think it's interesting maybe for other people to hear. Because there's always a perception of like who somebody is online.
Yeah.
Right? And I think you should always give people the grace of like, get to know people, right?
100%.
And we all have ups and downs in life. Nobody's life is perfect.
Yeah.
So some of them were like, I am always grounded in truth and on authenticity. Another one is I embrace pleasure and abundance.
Ooh, I like that.
And then my phone just died. I mean, my computer just died. There was another one about respecting my boundaries.
Right. Probably something about I am embodying heart-based boundaries.
Heart-based boundaries.
Yeah. I remember, I know we did our coaching together quite a long time ago, but there's one that keeps coming up for most women, and it's something around I embody heart-based boundaries.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a challenging one for women because they think boundaries have to be like an iron wall, but they can be permeable, and you don't have to compromise shutting down your heart. Thank you, by the way, for sharing those beautiful statements in my work, because I work with authentic lineage, like yogic lines. We call that sankalpa.
Sankalpa.
Right? Something that you had created are those beautiful affirmations or sankalpas, intentions that are yoked with the Most High. So it was beautiful to hear you say those, and I can see you embodying those now.
I feel I am definitely. And it's helped in every aspect of my life. It's not just, I think we think everything is like career, and it's not. I can embody this in any moment, whether I'm sitting here, I'm at the grocery store, I'm traveling, right? And just being in tune with that has just really helped me in every way. And not to say life is perfect, but it's guiding me. It's giving me the courage, the confidence, and also not gaslighting myself. Yeah. Right. And that I would love for us to talk a little bit more about internal gaslighting.
Yes.
I feel as women, we face gaslighting a lot from the opposite sex, whether it be through conversations and relationship, through media, authoritative roles, government. There's so much gaslighting. There was actually a video just came out the other day about the Miss World pageant.
I saw that.
One of the judges was speaking very badly to one of the contestants, which is horrible. Yeah. I mean, no one should speak to anybody like that, right? But to gaslight and to put them down and to speak in that way, it goes against the whole idea of this organization, first of all. Yeah. And secondly, I loved the fact that a lot of the contestants got up and left because that is a sign, and that is it's beautiful. That's a boundary. Sorry, it's unacceptable, right?
For all women.
For all women. Yeah. So what's the difference between like external and external gaslighting?
Yeah. So the external gaslighting happens for most of us, and I would say that's actually where internalized misogyny begins. It's when we're told that what happened to us didn't happen to us. That's so painful. a lot of the women that I work with, they're very successful, high-achieving women. Almost all of them are survivors of childhood sexual abuse. And they're all told at some point that it didn't happen. And for something so intimate to happen to a young body, and at that time when your brain is still forming, to be told that that didn't happen to you. And even if your situation's not that extreme, it can be in other ways in how we deal with society, in society with our emotions. So you're told to stop crying, I'll give you a reason to cry, right? That kind of very aggressive approach towards emotions. So we're told to pipe down, what happened to you didn't happen to you. So that's where the external gaslighting happens. Even when we're young and we're in high school, or we might have had a run-in with somebody with a stupid boy or something, right? And we're all young and immature then, but it could have been something so small that they said that made you feel like, oh, like I guess what I feel doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Right. So that's where the external happens. But then that's what happens, right? The external leaks into the internal. I had a client once years ago where she said that she's such a harsh inner critical voice. And I said, well, the way that your parents spoke to you from ages 0 to 5 becomes your inner voice.
Your inner voice, yeah.
So if they were invalidating you, if they were criticizing you constantly, then it makes sense as why you as an adult now, nothing's ever good enough in your career. Or there's always something that needs more. And so the internal gaslighting is obviously the most dangerous because you're not a child anymore, but you second guess yourself all the time. And you're like, well, it doesn't matter. Oh, I had this idea. Oh, I don't have to do it. People don't really care. So it's like, that's the one that we really have to contend with, is that internal gaslighting where it's stopping our dreams. It's stopping us from birthing our new reality. What did I say on the phone with you the other day? Gaslighting is where dreams die.
Gaslighting is when dreams die. Yes. Yeah. That gave me goosebumps. Yeah. Yeah, you're stopping yourself before you can even believe you can do it.
And yet we have to have curiosity, compassion for that part of us that does that, because it's, like I said, it's such a inborn tendency. It's such an inborn pattern that we were taught. If you're taught to dismiss yourself, your emotional body, then you're going to dismiss your emotional body too, unless there's a pattern interrupt, unless somebody comes in and says, and you also are like, okay, something's not right. Let me get support, right? You can bring someone like me in, or you can start to return to your faith-based practices. Anything that brings you back to your intuition and your body so you stop gaslighting yourself, that's the step forward. That's the doorway opening. Yeah. For me and the work that I share with the world, it's about coming into your body. But for you, it might be something else, who's ever listening right now. But whatever helps you anchor into the truth of your sovereignty, the truth of who you really are, that's how to stop that gaslighting, that really downward spiral of the self-gaslighting.
Yeah, I see what you mean. I think it's interesting because, like you said, we let things go, or we're taught to let it go, right? Or it didn't exist.
Didn't happen.
Right? Or you also get comments like, oh, it happens.
Yeah.
Well, it shouldn't happen.
Yeah.
Quite
like
frankly.
Normalizing it.
It shouldn't be normalized, right? So I think it's so important, like as we are healing, as each generation goes by, is to really, I think that this is my perspective, is to be responsible, we almost need to like heal for the next generation, right?
100%.
Otherwise the cycle continues. I have nieces, I have nephews, I have a stepdaughter as well. She's 18. And for me, I've always tried to be present with her. Yeah. Not tell her what to do, but give her, subtle guidance in a way of what is acceptable, what's not acceptable, of how people should treat her, essentially, right? And giving her the space to take presence, right? Yeah. There was a few times where I caught her saying sorry a lot, and I said, "You don't have to say sorry." Yeah. Right. And so it's you almost wished when you're growing up somebody did that for you. Yeah. Right. And even if it's just a little bit of dialogue or conversation. I think it really helps.
It opens the door.
It opens the door.
Yeah.
It's a very subtle way to do it, but it's giving them the opportunity to understand, have the awareness, right? Of, okay, that was not right, or this is acceptable. This energy feels good. This energy feels
Doesn't
bad.
feel good. Yeah.
Right? And again, it goes back to like that intuition. It's interesting because I feel like all this is tied together, right? I just had a conversation about leadership, stepping into your power,
Yeah.
Pay equity. You know, it's all aligned.
Yeah.
We think it's all
connected.
separate categories. It's
No.
not. It's all the same.
It's all about alignment.
It's all about alignment, and it all relates to each other. So I think that's why it's so important to have these different dialogues, right?
Yeah.
Of like, it'd be interesting to have both of you actually in the same room. That would be even a better, not better, but a different conversation, right? Of like, how do we encourage a narrative from both sides?
That's right. I keep thinking of this indigenous saying, for all my relations. Have you heard that in ceremonies?
Yes.
Sometimes? For me, that's what that means. When
all
you
my
say,
relations.
when you go into ceremony, when you go into deep work, and then you say, for all my relations, literally every single relationship in your life is going to be impacted.
Wow.
The practices that you do, even whether you talk about them or not, they're going to affect every single work, romantic, family, some guy passing you on the street or some woman at a coffee shop with you, right? It's like all my relations. That's the power of our presence. Yeah.
I'm always teetering between the masculine and feminine.
Yeah.
Right? I've always, for me, and I'm sure a lot of women can relate, it's like, oh, I'm strong. I can do this. I can do it by myself. Oh, I know how to do it better. Being aggressive to get what you want. Things like that. We're sort of just taught you need to be that way, right? What's the biggest difference between living a life in feminine versus masculine? And are there times where it crosses over, where we actually can take a little bit of masculinity?
Totally.
How would that work?
First, I want to say this is a matter of life and death.
Okay.
I really want women to hear this is a matter of life and death. When we are overperforming as women in the hyper masculine, as I like to call it, so we're hustling all the time, we're pushing, we're forcing, we're ignoring the cues, we're in burnout. That's where women's life is on the line. Women get breast cancer. Women get hysterectomies. Because the body doesn't lie. And those emotions of overworking yourself beyond what your capacity is, there's a price to pay.
Yes.
And it's not the dollar. It's your health.
That's worth the most.
That's everything.
That's everything, yeah.
Hor ki haga hai na, we say in Punjabi, what else is there? And so I'm not trying to create a sense of fear. I really want to stress the importance of women unclenching. You're going to see me use that word a lot, unclench, and to trust their feminine energy. We've been taught through so many eons of patriarchy to distrust femininity, to distrust emotions, to distrust the body. Even you can see it in the medical system, how much fear there is when a woman goes into birth even. So it's like we've been taught from a young age, girls, to fear our own bodies.
Yes.
And we give the power of our breasts, of our womb, to other people, to the patriarchy. And then we become so afraid of our own bodies. I always say you can't be a powerful woman if you're afraid of your pussy.
Wow.
I'm going to say it just like that. You can't be a powerful woman if you're
What does
afraid
that
of
mean
that.
Exactly?
That means that you start to become intimate with yourself, right? What is Tantra? Tantra means to become a tool, an instrument for expansion. It means to become intimate with yourself. All the things that they taught you to fear. A lot of people have religious-based trauma, right? They're taught that their body's a sin. That type of stuff. Even if you're not of that lineage, some of us still have that.
Yeah, it's still there.
I'm gandhi. I'm dirty. My body's dirty. That's what I mean, that you can't be a powerful woman if you're afraid of your pussy. I mean, get in touch with your pussy power. What does that mean? Get in touch with your femininity. Get in touch with your sensuality. Don't let somebody else tell you what's pleasurable. What's pleasurable for you? And I'm not necessarily talking about sex. I'm talking about when you pick up your tea in the morning, you open up the pathways of sensuality, but when you're drinking it, to feel like, How does it feel going down the back of my throat? How does it feel, the warmth of it?
Yes.
How does my feet even feel? Even though I'm drinking it with my mouth, how do my feet feel on the floor? Is my stomach clenched like this when I'm drinking it, or am I like this? My Shakti, my heart, is it closed because I was angry about something yesterday? Or can I use this practice with my freaking tea to have a tantric moment, to like open my heart?
Yeah.
That's what I mean by embodying your femininity. You know, it's like, I don't even know what the question was anymore because it's getting hot in here.
It was.
Start talking about femininity, start talking about sexuality. It's getting hot in here.
Well, I think, you really nailed it there with saying that, about the Tantra, about the connection to self, really.
Yeah.
And I think we sort of taught that Tantra is about two people.
That's right.
Right? It's always about two, or it's about the man.
Yeah.
Right? And I think it's important to put yourself first.
Yes.
And put your needs out there, your wants,
yes.
Your dreams. Just like you said, right? Without the feminine energy, our dreams die.
Yeah.
Right? Like it.
Yeah.
And I think it goes back to that power that you were talking about. And I think, it does lie in your womb. It does lie in your pussy.
Yes.
And being comfortable with that, right?
Yes.
Even like looking at yourself in the mirror.
Yes. I get a lot of my clients to do that. Naked dancing in the mirror. Really.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because so many women are like, well, Abneet, I don't look like you. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna say that bothers me when people say that. Because I'm like, you guys, like, I understand that's what the overculture of society has made us feel like. But do you understand how luscious you are? Do you understand how voluptuous and gorgeous every roll, every curve is? Don't let some outside force inform you of your own beauty.
Of course.
You have to inhabit your beauty.
Yes.
You look at people like Lizzo, like these women that are bigger bodied, but you cannot say for 1 second she's not sexy.
No.
Is because the way she's carrying her energy. So that's
exactly.
right? That's what I want to impress upon women, is like, inhabit your body. That's what I mean.
I think that's the thing maybe men or the other opposite sex don't understand.
Yeah.
I've had in the past people comment about my body and my weight. So I was always an extra small.
Right.
Even extra small was too big sometimes, right? Now I'm in my late 30s. I'm curvier. Okay, maybe I don't go to the gym as much as I should, but whatever, life is busy. I'm forgiving myself for that. But
Totally.
I've had people make comments in the past like, oh, this is not what you look like before.
Yeah.
Or, oh, you looked really nice like this, right? Or editing my pictures to say, oh, this is what you would look like if.
Wow.
And it almost didn't hurt me at the time because I was numb to it.
You're numb. Yeah.
Right? And now that I look back, I'm like, holy shit. First of all,
so not
who
okay.
are you to even say that?
Yeah.
Right? And I think by me acknowledging it within myself, I've taken the power back.
Yes.
How dare you make comments about my body and my weight like that? It doesn't make me any less of who I am.
Right.
And if you knew me well enough, you would know how amazing I am. It has nothing to do with my weight. It has everything to do with what I embody.
100%.
Right? So don't let anyone make you feel less than. It's so important.
Yeah.
Right? Whether you're curvier, you're skinnier, maybe you have acne, your hair is not
falling out.
Hair's falling
Hello.
out. I have hair coming out of my eyebrows, that's coming out. Whatever. There's days where I don't want to wax my arm. Doesn't make me less because I have hair on my arms, or I don't fit into the stereotype of what a man thinks that I should be, right? My beauty is from within.
It is. It radiates from inside
But it's
out.
accepting that within yourself.
I think when you really accept that within yourself, then people accept it.
People accept it, yeah.
When you have those hangups about yourself, then people can almost smell that. You know how kids can be so mean bullying? Adults are like that too.
Yes, they are.
Aunties are like that too sometimes. And you just have to be like, no, auntie, that's not what's going on. I'm good.
Yeah, I know I've heard a lot of those comments
Yeah.
too. Or even from other family members, like they'll comment about that. And I'm just like, forget what people say. Just
Yeah.
like enjoy your life.
Enjoy your life.
Enjoy your
'Cause
life.
you're only going to be this age once, and then you're going to look back and be like, why didn't I enjoy it more? Why was I so hung up on XYZ? You know, it's like, no, like you got to just embrace the beauty. Life is so fleeting, Selena.
It is. And you almost,
it's going to be over like this.
and you're almost missing out in those beautiful moments because you're too busy thinking about, oh, she said this, he said that. Oh, he said that to me 5 years ago. I'm still holding on to it.
Yeah,
Let
and
it
we
go.
do. But that's why
Yeah.
I think it's not as easy as just saying to let go. And this is why I love the work that we did together. Because yeah, you definitely need to let that shit go, but to do it through the body.
Yeah,
right? That's why, you did the sacred rage practice with me at least twice now. And a lot of people don't get that practice. And it's like, this is why it's important to do it, because of how do we let go of all those things that people have said to us, that have done to us, that we know we weren't able to stand up for ourselves then. Hell, maybe you were a kid, right? But maybe you weren't able to say no then. And you may think, oh, it's in the past now. My mom often says that. It's in the past. Why can't you haven't you done healing now? I'm like, no, Mom, I made a whole business out of it. I made a whole business out of it. But yeah, it's so important in that process of letting go to get angry. That's that sacred rage practice, right? You can't, apne sarir de vich sab kuch na caught in your body when everything's caught up, you can't do the love and light spirituality.
No.
I don't know if y'all noticed, but the love and light spirituality movement is over. Like it's time to
Thanks for letting us know.
Yes.
Honestly.
Yeah, it's over. It's done. We don't want to perform our spirituality anymore. It's time to feel the feels. It's time to feel those not so nice feelings. You want to let go. You can't just sage it over. You want to let go. You got to go rage. Come rage with me.
It's funny that you say that because I feel like there was a period where it was like, I'm so spiritual and
we all do it.
I'm more spiritual than you.
Yes.
And only I can be this way. And that's probably a whole different podcast interview, but it was like making everything spin. It's great to have positivity, don't get me wrong, but you need to get underneath and underneath. Like I was having a conversation a few weeks ago with someone and I was saying how angry I was, right? But if I go deeper, it wasn't really anger, it was sadness.
Yeah.
Right? And I had to work through that. Like, why am I feeling sad?
Yeah.
And so I feel like, as much as you do the coaching and you know, eventually you have your own toolkit, right? You're
100%.
able to tap into what works for me to get me through this.
And I really want to add that it's not necessary to always pathologize woman's anger. We live in a world where there's so much injustices going on. Like you'd be mad. You'd be, I would call it imbalanced if you're not angry right now.
Yeah, there's so much going on.
Right? It's a natural response to so many crimes against humanity that are happening in this world right now. It is a natural human response to feel rage. It doesn't always need to be a why or journaling. It can sometimes just be like the best thing is to move it through the body, to express it through tears, through pushing against a wall, through coming into one of our rage circles, That's healthy. That's not to be pathologized.
Yeah, I agree with you. I feel so blessed. I was able to go to Bali, be with all the other beautiful women that were there, and I feel like coming away from that, I have so many more sisters, right? And we all stay connected as much as we can, and just to be in that space to be authentic. Genuine. We were all at different places in our journey. Some people had done a lot of this work. Some people were very new to it. So to have women at so many different stages was very inspiring. I learned a lot, right? And I also felt very seen by the rest of the group. And I want to know from you, why is community and sisterhood such a powerful part of healing and growth?
Yeah. As some of you may already know, when I started this platform, The Nourished Woman, in 2017, it began with circle work. It was just these humble little circles, few women gathering. It was only once per month. And all of the work started from there. There is something so profoundly healing about being witnessed in your authenticity. We do a practice that you may recall from one of our programs called Feel, Kiss, Flow. And Feel, Kiss, Flow is when another woman or two women literally hold your body. They're not manipulating your body. They're not trying to make anything happen, but they're just holding your body as you move intuitively and authentically to what emotion you may be feeling in that moment. And that practice is so life-changing because you get to dispel that myth that I'm too much. And a lot of women feel that way, that they can't express themselves because it's too much. I'm too much. Tu jada na kar. It's like we hear it so much in our culture too.
Yes.
It's ridiculous. And again, there's the gaslighting again. There's the
Yes.
fucking shame again. Sorry, I'm dropping F-bombs. I hope that's okay. But I'm passionate about this topic.
It's all good. Don't worry.
Women that holding shame in their bodies is just such a tragedy. And so back to why can't we just do this work alone, like one-to-one with a therapist or a coach? Why do we do it in circle? Why do we do it in community? Because that's the decolonized way. The colonized form of healing is only making it therapeutic and clinical.
Yes.
But that is one part of it. That could be a big part of it for you. But come into circle, because that's how our ancestors and every culture across the world did.
Exactly.
Around a fire, honey.
Around a fire. Yeah.
Dancing and singing around a fire. Give me any culture. And that's what they were doing with a drum probably. And so in our circles, we do that a lot too, because it's an ancestral remembrance. It's like, oh, I know this. I know how to do this. You don't have to make it up, you know? So I feel in the healing model of today's world, like communal healing, circle healing, community healing is a non-negotiable. Your healing journey is incomplete unless you're a part of some community.
Yes.
There's nothing like being witnessed in your authenticity that can heal like eons of shame. I'm talking about beyond your lifeline. I'm talking about your great-great-grandmothers who were persecuted for being healers and witches.
Yes.
So when you get to move authentically and cry and scream and have two women hold you in that, it melts something so old that's beyond. It's like in your DNA.
Yeah, I had never experienced anything like that up until then. And it was just so accepted in a way I've never been accepted. Yeah. And I think that whether it was the energy or even the touch, at first there was resistance, but eventually you become you feel accepted and seen, that you start to soften.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, you start to realize it's safe.
You start to realize it's safe and secure. And
I always say in my work, like when people say how to be more feminine or where do I start with my femininity, I'm like safety first. You got to feel safe in your body. And then thank you for mentioning that. It's that, I love that you felt that seen, because it's that safety that they're giving you in that moment, but also probably that you had already cultivated a little bit too.
It almost felt like being in a womb, like in some way.
Wow.
Like you just felt held.
Wow, okay.
Right? You felt held and you felt like a nurturing feeling.
I can feel that.
You know, it's symbolic. Obviously, you're not like in a womb, but it's that that's feeling. What it feels like. I feel like that's what for me anyways, it was like that. And there's one thing I really want to bring up is something about age, right? Because our listeners, they're, reaching 40s or in 40s and 50s and beyond. So how do we encourage women who are in later stage of life to do the work or to heal? What can we do?
I was going to say my retreat that's coming up in just like 1 week. I mean, everyone's in their 40s, 50s and beyond. And again, I'm going to say, if not now, when? And how much do you want to keep holding on to that shit that you know is making your body sick?
Wow.
Because I know all the women that come and work with me, like, and I was in it too. When we don't let that shit go, when we don't connect to our femininity, we literally get disease in the body. We have chronic disease. We have fibromyalgia. We have like hysterectomies. We have womb pain. We get our breasts chopped off because of breast cancer. Like, it's terrible, the things that happen in a woman's body. But also on the flip side, if you start to do the work, like, it's the ultimate glow up. Like, you are just radiating from within in that way that nobody can take away from you.
Wow.
right? When I say it's life or death, Selena,
It
I'm not sugarcoating that.
I think you're the first person to honestly put it like that. I think it's so authentic the way you're saying it, and I hope our listeners can really relate to that and feel that call to action of like, this is life or death.
Yes.
And if you don't do it now, it's gonna be a battle for you.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, we don't want anyone to be sick or to be unwell.
But look at the world we live in, though. Those are the stats. Like people, women, not just women, but everyone, lifestyle-related diseases are like the number one.
Number one, yeah.
So again, on the flip side, to make it more juicy and encouraging, you have the power, and it doesn't have to be hard.
Yeah, I agree.
It can actually be really easy. Like I said, the morning practice with the tantric tea date with yourself. It's in a moment. It's just a flip of a switch to give yourself that permission to allow oxytocin, as opposed to cortisol, the stress hormone. Oxytocin is the love hormone.
Yes.
They did a study where men only need a nap to feel recharged. Women need oxytocin.
Yeah, I don't doubt that.
Women need touch. We need bonding. We need that connection. If you're an empty nester or, you're in a different situation in your life, maybe you just got out of a separation. Who's your community? Who's touching you in a non-sexual way?
Yes.
And massage doesn't always cut it, by the way.
No.
It's different to be held in community.
I agree. I mean, thank you so much. You just been so real, and I don't expect anything less from you. So thank you so much for sharing your knowledge, your wisdom. I really hope that whoever's listening to this can have that awareness of like, it's never too late. And there are people out there that can support you. There's circles, there's sisterhood. When there's alignment, you'll find the right people, I feel like. You just have to make the decision to say yes. So thank you so much. Thank you for all the love and support you've given me. I really, really value it. And I hope we can bring you back on the podcast. Part two. We definitely need a part two. So thank you so much, Abneet. I really appreciate it. Thank you.